Hi guys, welcome back. So for this episode, I thought I'd do something just a little bit differently. Something that a lot of beer enthusiasts like myself like to do is cellaring their beers. And what that typically means is we take our beer and we store it somewhere, typically between 50 to 60 degrees cooler in a dark place where light's not going to try and oxidize and turn that beer skunky. My beer cellar is a closet in my man cave in my basement. And so one of the beers that I've been cellaring for a while is Boulevard's Scotch on Scotch. It is an imperial oak age Scotch ale, and I've been cellaring it for about a year now, and I just want to see how the flavors have kind of changed since I initially bought it. As you can see in the color, it's definitely a barrel aged beverage. It's like a rich mahogany, maybe like a dark amber color. And even just smelling it, I can tell that the floral notes have kind of changed. You don't get as much of that booze. It smells sweeter in a lot of ways. It's almost like a rum raisin kind of, or maybe like a molasses. So let's give it a taste. Pinky's out. So another one of the reasons a lot of people cellar beers, and I can definitely see why, is it changes the flavors. Especially with like a barrel-aged beer, it tends to round out that kind of harsh booze taste to it. So like with the Scotch on Scotch, the first time I tried it, I could definitely tell that it was 9.6%. And now that I've aged it for about a year, I get more of a smoky flavor, probably from the oak barrels. And again, some of that sweetness really shines through, and I don't think initially you got a lot of that. It was more of this is a Scotch ale, here's some booze with it. It's still a fantastic Scotch ale, but I like it even more now that I've aged it for a little bit. So if that's something you guys are interested in doing, what I like to do, if my wife will let me, is buy like 3 bottles of a beer, and I drink one immediately. I save one for 6 months, and I save another one for about a year. And you can really kind of see the flavor profile change as you age the beer. And like I said, that's just from over time. Some of those flavors mix, and they kind of balance each other out. And I really enjoy doing it. It's a fun way excuse to drink the same beer a couple different times. And so overall, I'm really glad I aged this beer. It's a beer I love, and now I love it even more. So I encourage you guys to give it a try. And thanks, guys. That's all we have for this week. Stay tuned for next week when I talk about a stout that gives me a stiffy. Cheers.